Hello friends, welcome to our channel Knowledge Amplifier. So today in this particular video I am going to discuss how we can prevent duplicate executions in step function. Okay, one of the very important topic, and it might help you in building and orchestrating your cloud pipeline. Okay, so let's consider one particular situation where we need to prevent duplicate execution in step function first. Okay, so let's consider a order processing workflow. Here we are having our user who is making some order request using web app or maybe mobile app using one API, and that API we have built using API gateway. Okay, what that API is doing, that API is taking the request from the user and putting that order request in an SQS queue. Okay, and now from this SQS queue one Lambda is getting triggered. It is taking those order requests from SQS queue and then it is triggering AWS step function for processing those order requests to fulfill them. Okay, so suppose this is the pipeline, right? Now there are two kinds of SQS queue. One is standard queue, one is FIFO queue. In standard queue, it basically makes sure at least one time delivery of the message is happening. That is, if you are using API gateway and SQS integration directly, then if an user is basically using the API to make an order request, that order request from the user, it will be coming in SQS queue at least one time, but there is always a possibility that the same order request is coming in the SQS queue more than one time also. And if that is the case, what problem might occur? That is, this particular Lambda will basically read the same order request multiple times and will trigger AWS step function multiple times for the same order request, and that should not happen. One particular order request, for that only one time the step function should be getting executed, right? That's the requirement. Then what we can do? Obviously one thing is standard queue you can replace with FIFO queue. That is one thing. But suppose due to cost issue or something you need to use standard queue only, then in the AWS step function itself, we are having a feature using which we can prevent duplicate execution. And let's see how to do that. Okay, so here I have written some notes. Let me go through that and then we will directly jump into the lab section. Okay, so sometimes we might have a hard requirement to prevent executing the state machine twice with same input. That is, duplicate record processing we have to kind of prevent, and we can use the default feature of step function, which is this particular API, start execution API. It is having a default feature using which we can prevent duplicate execution. Okay, so start execution API is nothing but the API which is used to trigger or start our step function. Okay, it takes certain input, that is our request syntax. What is that? I am going to discuss, and how using this particular API we can control duplicate execution, that also I am going to cover. Okay, so for start execution request, this is the syntax, right? First key is input, and this should be string. So what this input is, the input basically contain the input for our step function. The step function will take that particular input and it will use that input for processing our actual complete workflow. Okay, then another important key is name. What the name is, for a particular execution in our step function you can assign some name. Okay, and that is also a string. And the last key value pair is stateMachineArn. So in your AWS account you might be having multiple step functions. Now when you are calling start execution API to start a step function, you need to mention which step function you want to start, and that you can mention using stateMachineArn. Okay, now the question comes, how using this we can avoid duplicate processing, and the answer is hidden in this particular key, that is name. If the name is same, that will indicate it is duplicate input, we should not process that. And for different input, if you want to execute your step function, you should be having different name while calling the step function with start execution API. Okay, that's the catch. That is, in this name, if we are processing different input, then we can basically put different name. If we are putting same name, then step function will understand this is basically duplicate execution. It will not execute from second time onwards. Okay, and there are also certain important points are there what I have written here. Try to understand this very carefully because this is the most important point. So first point is I will invoke a step function with the name A. Okay. If I am doing for the first time, then obviously the execution will be successfully invoked and it will be assigned that particular name. What name? The name A. Now suppose next time also you are invoking your step function with same name A, then what will happen? Then there are two possibilities. Okay. First possibility is your step function is already in running state with the same execution name. Okay. Like it might happen just now you invoked your step function with the name A for the first time. So execution invoked successfully. Your step function is not at all completed. It is in running state. And then and there you made another request for invoking that particular step function with the same name A. And by that time your step function is running. Okay. In that case, if your execution is running with the same name, then the step function API will return the same response as the original request. Okay. That is first time we made original request, right? That is the first time what request we made. That time what response we got back, the same response we will be getting back if we are invoking our step function again with the same name and our step function is basically in executing or running state with the same name. Okay, right? Very clear. And the third possibility is I am invoking my step function with the same name A, but actually our step function execution is complete. That can be successful or failed. Or there is another possibility, step function is in running state but with some other name. Okay, if that is the case, then the step function API returns an error, that is execution already exists, and that way it basically prevents duplicate processing. Okay, try to understand. I will make it very simple. Same name for the first time if you are triggering, then it will basically start running your step function and it will give some response. Okay, with the same name, if you are invoking the same step function again and your execution or the step function is running with the same name, then the step function will basically return the response what it returned for our original request what we made for the first time. Okay, and now another possibility is suppose you invoked your step function with same name A, but this time the execution is happening with some other name. Maybe that name is B, or maybe it might happen the execution is complete. It is in failed or successful state, whatever. Okay, with the name A, there is no execution running. If that is the state and then you are making next time an execution request with same name, then it will throw an error, execution already exists, right? Let's see how and what is happening with examples in a better way. Okay, I will show you the labs, then it will be much more clear. So very important, like where we might be using this kind of stuffs, like I have explained in order processing workflow, it is very important. Similarly, there can be multiple other scenarios also. And one thing I hope it is clear, that if you want that your step function should be getting executed, then you put different name. If you don't want to process same input multiple times, then you have to make sure for the same input the name is also same. Okay, that way your step function will not process those same input again and again. Okay, now the question comes how we can make the name. That is very simple. That is in order processing workflow, order ID is unique, right? So basically to avoid processing same order twice, you can use order ID as name. So for the first time, if it is going, it will start executing a step function. But for the second time also same order ID, which is our name, is coming, then basically step function will not process that, right? And maybe another option is very simple, apply hashing like MD5 hashing on your JSON payload, which is basically your input, and then use the hash value as execution name. Okay, hash value is such a value which will always be same for same input and it will different for different input, right? So if you use hash value as your execution name, then obviously your step function will not process same input multiple times. Okay, right? And another very important point is execution names can be used after 90 days. Okay, so suppose you are invoking your step function with name A, next time if you are calling again with same name, then it might not process. But after 90 days, if you are calling your step function with same name A, then it will process that. Okay, that's what is written here. Execution names can be reused after 90 days. So there can be a possibility of reprocessing same input after 90 days. So in that case, if that 90 days reduplication prevention also, if you want to implement, then basically we can apply some custom solution with data stored to keep track of execution and all this stuff. Okay, but 90 days is actually too long. I don't think that much requirement you will be getting. Generally what happens that at the same time or just within few seconds same input might be coming. That time we have to make sure that only one time it is getting processed, not more than one time. Okay, so let's see the implementation. So first what we'll do, we'll create an SNS topic and we'll be creating this particular subscriber. Okay, I will go to AWS Management Console and here I'll be going to simple notification service. Okay, so here I'll be creating a topic name. I can give demo testing so YT. Okay, I'll go to next and then here display name, no need to provide anything, just access policy, everyone can publish, everyone can subscribe, and with this I'll be creating my topic. Okay, subscription, I want to create an email subscription. I will be putting the dummy email name and here I will create the subscription. Okay, that is done. If I go back to my mail and if I refresh this, here one notification is coming. I need to confirm this one. Okay, up to this it is very simple and here it is confirmed, right? So if I go here you will see this particular mail request is confirmed. So in this particular SNS topic, if any request or any message is coming, then it will broadcast to this particular mail ID. Okay, I will show you where I am using that. Now what is the next step? In the next step, we will be creating a step function which will publish the message in the SNS topic after some wait time. Okay, so first in our step function, first there will be wait block, then it will put that input message from the step function to our SNS topic. Okay, and from the topic it will be broadcasted to multiple subscriber. Like in our case only one subscriber is there, that's fine. Okay, so here what I will do, I will basically call our step function and then create workflow. So first I will be having some wait time, maybe what wait time is 30 seconds, and then I will be hitting SNS. I want to publish message. The ARN is basically this one, demo testing show YT, and then here I want to configure the message. So currently whatever input will be coming in step function, it will be putting that in SNS. That I don't want. I want only the body key from the input to be put in our SNS. Okay, so that's pretty much it, and I will go to next, my state machine demo YT. Okay, and here we will create the state machine that is created. Currently you can see no execution is there. Perfect, right? Now we will be basically using our this particular API start execution, and for that we have written a Lambda code. Okay, it is very simple. Import JSON, import boto3. JSON is required for json.loads or json.dumps, this kind of operation, and boto3 we are basically using to create client for our step function. Okay, from Lambda. So here we are creating the boto3 client, we are printing the event. That is not required. If you want, you can ignore that. And then here basically in the Lambda function, in the event, we will be having a country key. Okay, that country key will be first extracting, and then what we will do, we will basically calculate the hash value from the country name for MD5. Okay, and then here our input will be I love my that country we are putting. Okay, and here we are trying to start the execution using start execution API. Here this step function ARN will be putting the name. The name should be unique, right? And it should be same for same input. So for that what I did, the country name basically what will be coming as our input. So that one I have applied MD5. That will ensure that if the country name is coming as same, then it will be having same name. But if the country name is coming as different, then it will be having different name. Okay, right? And then here we are printing the response also for the step function. And then from the Lambda, we are returning back the execution ARN. So whenever we are starting our execution, we get execution ARN that we can return back, so that in future point of time, someone can track what is the step function situation. Okay, for that particular execution. And if suppose it is duplicate and some error it is raising with the error like execution already exists, then here we are returning already executed, right? Very simple. I will just copy this one and then here I will go to Lambda, and then here I'll go to create function. Here I'll be giving the name demo yt dedupe. Okay, dedupe means deduplicate avoidance. That's what I am saying by dedupe. And then here what I will do, I'll basically paste the function, right? So all I am trying to do, I want to show you the power of step function to filter out duplicate processing, and that one I want to show you with Lambda. Okay, if the country name will be passing in this Lambda function, if it is same, then step function will not be executed. If it is different, then only it will be executed. Okay, that's the simple concept what I am going to show you. So now here what we need to do, we need to do one thing, that is here stateMachineArn we need to provide, right? So I'll be just taking this one and I'll be pasting that. So this is our stateMachineArn. That's pretty much it. And here we'll deploy this, and we'll make sure one more thing, that is for Lambda the step function execution permission is there. So I will go to the configuration and I will basically add step function access also. Okay, add permission, attach policy, step function full access I am giving for the time being. Okay, right? And now we have to trigger the Lambda also, right? So for that, maybe what I can do, I can create a simple API gateway. Already I have discussed this kind of how you can create post method in API gateway, right? So that's why I am going a little bit fast, and the code is also very simple. The Lambda code you can easily create if you have followed my earlier videos on API gateway with post request. I will be sharing the prerequisite link also in the description box. If you want, you can check there. Demo d2 is the API name. I'll go to next. So post method I want to do because the country name will be passing. I'll go to next, next, create. Okay. So this is our basically API gateway invoke URL. I'll be going to Postman. I'll paste that. I will basically put my resource path also from the routes. Okay, cool. And then this is post method, and the body part is nothing but, in our case, I will be putting in JSON format, and that is basically country. Suppose this is the one want to pass. Okay, so if you see what is happening here, let me just show you that API gateway Lambda invoke trigger is added, and what will happen eventually in our code, from the event and the body part from the API we are taking the country key. So that's what we are passing in the body part for our this API, and then here on top of that it is applying the hash function md5 value, and the input for the step function is I love my country. Okay, and here we are passing the input, that message I love my country, in the body key. Okay, that's why what I will do, I will go to step function, and if I go to edit, here if you see in the step function, here I have given $.body. So this body value, it will be basically flown from here, right? And then here we have given normal type try catch block. That's it, very simple Python code. Now what we will do, we will basically run this particular execution. Okay, so here we are getting body execution here, and I will just make a save here somewhere in the lower part. And then if I go to my step function, okay, here you will see it is running state, and the name for this step function, this one is nothing but hash value for the key India. Okay, if you apply md5 hashing on India, you will be getting this. Okay, so it is running state, and now I am making same request. Okay, so here see it is coming already exist. Why it is coming? I think because it is successful. Okay, so if you see here, that's what I have written. If you see the point here, invoke step function with same name A. If the execution is complete, then step function API returns an error execution already exists. And that's what happening here. You see that when the start execution is getting called, that time because it is finding the same name, so it is throwing an exception, the execution already exists and it is returning already exists. Okay, let me do quickly with for another country, USA. Okay, I will just delete this body, not a problem. And what I will do, I will just hit USA and this is the body what we are getting. Right now, if I go to step function, if I just refresh, for USA another execution started. Suppose this time I am making another send request. See here, same response I am getting. It is not providing me some other response. Okay, if I am going here and putting same time, here same response every time will be getting, and the reason is nothing but it is in running state. Okay, as soon as it is successful state or fail state, it will say that it already exists. But if the execution is in running state and you are making the request with the same name, then it will always basically give the same outcome. See, if you just compare this particular ARN, whatever body part you will be getting, this ARN and this ARN are same. I will show you. If I go to find next, see, both are same, right? So that's the catch here. That's this point I have written, right? That is invoke step function with the same name A. Earlier also if you did, then if the execution is running with same name, then the step function API will return the same response as of our first request. So you have seen, right? We have made first time request with the country name USA, we got a response. Next time also when we did with the same country name, we get the same response because that time our step function is in running state. And now if it is successful, and how you can understand it is successful, you can see in our mails are keep on coming. I love my USA, I love my India, like that continuously it is coming because step function is ultimately after certain time waiting, it is triggering the SNS. From SNS the messages are coming, right? I hope you can understand this, right? So I think these 2 points are clear. That is, if you are invoking step function with same name A and if your execution is complete, then the step function will return execution already exists. If the execution is running with same name, it will return the same response as of our original request. Now another context let us try to understand. Suppose your execution is running with some other name. Okay, maybe suppose this time instead of USA I am putting Nepal. Okay, so this is a new country name what we are passing, so hash value will also be new. So if we start an execution, we will be getting the body part, right? Then when the job is running, by that time if we are doing another request with our previous country name USA, then also it will be returning that it already processed. Let me show you. So if I just start an execution with Nepal and then if I do USA, here you will see that already exists. Okay, but for Nepal, because that is appeared for the first time, here it started running and soon I'll be getting the mail that I love my Nepal. Okay, so there are 3 situations. If you are invoking with the name for the first time, then no problem, it will start execution. If you are invoking step function with same name A and the execution is also running with same name, then it will return same response as of our original request. If the execution is running with some other name, or maybe the execution is complete, that can be failed or successful, whatever, the step function will return the error execution already exists. And that's what we have seen, that country name Nepal when we triggered, that time the step function is running with the name which is basically hash function of our hash value of our Nepal. Okay, but now we made another request with the country name USA which we earlier did. Okay, for that here we got already executed. Okay, right? So I hope it is clear, and soon we'll be getting one more mail also. I love my Nepal because this step function is completed. Okay, so with this I hope you understood that we can control the duplicate execution. We can prevent the duplicate execution in step function with the name parameter. See, I have used 3 distinct countries: India, USA, and another one is Nepal. But multiple times I tried to execute with these kind of names, right? Although I tried that way, but here only 3 times our step function got triggered because there are total 3 distinct names, right? So try to implement this, and if you try to do, you will be getting real-time experience, much more clear idea you will be getting on this step function. Okay, the code I'll be providing in the description box or in the comment section. If you find this video helpful, then please like, share and comment. Subscribe our channel if you are not subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the notification of our latest videos. Thank you.